Right now, your brain is generating a complete hallucination, a three-dimensional, full-color simulation of reality, and you have absolutely no way to prove it matches what actually exists outside your skull. Neuroscientists call this controlled hallucination, and it means the universe you experience every single day is a construction. A model. A story your neurons tell you. Most people live their entire lives never questioning the walls of that story. But a small number of books, just 5, have the power to demolish those walls completely. These aren't just books. They are cognitive earthquakes. After reading them, former readers have described feeling, quote, like an alien visiting Earth for the first time. So let's begin. Because once you see what's actually out there, you cannot unsee it. Book number 1. Published in 1988 by a man who couldn't move a single finger, couldn't speak without a machine, and yet managed to peer deeper into the cosmos than almost any human in history. Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time spent an astonishing 237 weeks on the Sunday Times bestseller list. That's over 4.5 years. And its central idea is devastating in the most beautiful way possible. Time itself had a beginning. Not just matter. Not just energy. Time. Before the Big Bang, approximately 13.8 billion years ago, the question, what happened before, is literally meaningless. There was no before. There was no clock ticking in an empty void waiting for the universe to appear. The void didn't exist either. Nothing existed. And then, in a fraction of a second so small it makes a millisecond look like an eternity, everything did. But here's where Hawking breaks your brain completely. He proposes something called the no-boundary proposal, the idea that the universe has no edge in time, the same way Earth has no edge in space. Walk in any direction on Earth and you never fall off. Hawking suggests time works the same way near the Big Bang, it curves back on itself. So asking what caused the Big Bang is like asking what's north of the North Pole. The question dissolves. It has no answer because it has no meaning. And if that makes your head spin, good. That's the feeling of your mental model of reality cracking open. Hawking wrote this entire book while losing control of his body to ALS, dictating it one cheek twitch at a time through a sensor attached to his glasses. The universe gave us one of its deepest secrets through a man it was simultaneously trying to silence. Book number 2 takes us even deeper into the architecture of existence. Brian Greene's The Elegant Universe, published in 1999, introduces you to a theory so ambitious it borders on madness, string theory. The idea that every particle in the universe, every electron, every quark, every photon of light, is not actually a tiny ball. It's a vibrating loop of energy. A string. And just like a guitar string vibrates at different frequencies to produce different musical notes, these cosmic strings vibrate at different frequencies to produce different particles. Electrons, quarks, the force of gravity, all just different songs played on the same instrument. And the instrument requires 11 dimensions to play properly. Not 3. Not 4. 11. 7 of those dimensions are curled up so impossibly small, at the Planck scale, roughly 10 to the negative 35 meters, that they're invisible even to the most powerful particle colliders ever built. Book number 3 will unsettle you in a completely different way, because it's not about the cosmos above. It's about the species staring up at it. Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens, published in 2011 and translated into 65 languages, makes one argument that reframes all of human civilization in a single, terrifying sentence. Homo sapiens conquered the earth not because we're smarter or stronger, but because we are the only animal on the planet that can believe in things that don't exist. Money. Nations. Human rights. Companies. Laws. None of these are real in the physical world. You cannot find a dollar bill in the jungle. You cannot trip over the border between France and Spain. These are shared fictions, stories millions of people agreed to believe simultaneously, and that collective belief is the most powerful force in human history. More powerful than any army. More powerful than any technology. The story is the weapon. Harari traces our species from small bands of hunter-gatherers in East Africa 70,000 years ago through what he calls the cognitive revolution, a sudden explosion in human imagination and symbolic thinking that allowed us to form groups of thousands, then millions, then billions of cooperating strangers. Every other animal is limited by the size of groups it can physically know and trust. Chimpanzees max out at around 150 individuals. But humans? Using shared myths, we built empires. Using shared myths, we landed on the moon. And using shared myths, we are currently restructuring the climate of an entire planet. The most disturbing page in Sapiens comes near the end, when Harari asks, has all of this made us any happier? The data, he suggests, is not encouraging. We are, in many measurable ways, more anxious, more isolated, and more existentially lost than those small bands sitting around fires 70,000 years ago. Progress, it turns out, is complicated. Book number 4 is a weapon against the most dangerous force in the universe, not a black hole, not a supernova, not even a gamma-ray burst powerful enough to sterilize a planet. The most dangerous force is the one Carl Sagan identified in 1995, in The Demon-Haunted World, a society that stops thinking critically. Sagan, the man who calculated that we've sent radio waves reaching roughly 200 light-years into space and heard nothing back, wrote this book as a love letter to science and a warning to humanity. He described a baloney detection kit, a set of mental tools for identifying fraudulent claims, pseudoscience, and manipulation. Tools like asking for independent verification. Tools like checking if the evidence falsifies or merely confirms a belief. Tools like following the data even when it leads somewhere deeply uncomfortable. In 1995, Sagan predicted, with almost prophetic precision, the exact kind of information crisis we are living through today. He called it, a prescription for disaster. Book number 5 doesn't come from a philosopher or a cosmologist. It comes from a man who helped build the atomic bomb, won the Nobel Prize in Physics, played bongo drums in strip clubs, and cracked safes in classified government facilities for fun. Richard Feynman's Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, published in 1985, teaches you something no physics textbook ever could: how to think. Feynman had a pathological obsession with understanding things from first principles. Not memorizing. Not accepting authority. Actually understanding. He once described his method like this: if you can't explain something in simple language, you don't understand it yet. This philosophy, now called the Feynman technique, is used by the world's highest performers across every field, from Elon Musk to world memory champions. And the deeper gift of this book is permission. Permission to be curious. Permission to question everything. Permission to find joy, savage, relentless, childlike joy, in not knowing. So here's what these 5 books have in common, and it will hit you like a freight train. Every single one of them strips away a comfortable illusion. Hawking strips away eternal time. Greene strips away solid matter. Harari strips away human superiority. Sagan strips away our trust in our own minds. Feynman strips away the false comfort of feeling like you already understand. What's left when all the illusions are gone? Something extraordinary. A universe that is 93 billion light-years wide. A cosmos 13.8 billion years old. A planet that has hosted 5 mass extinctions and is still going. And somewhere on that planet, you. A temporary arrangement of atoms that somehow became conscious enough to read about its own existence. That is not small. That is the most staggering fact in all of reality. And you only found it by being willing to be wrong about everything. That feeling. Hold on to it. It's called wonder. And it's the engine of every discovery humanity has ever made. If even one of these books made you feel something, curiosity, excitement, the delicious discomfort of your worldview cracking open, then this video did exactly what it was supposed to do. Links to all 5 books are waiting for you in the description below, along with further reading, related videos, and sources for every fact you heard today. All recommended links are in the description, go check them out right now. And if you want more videos like this, exploring science, space, history, psychology, and the deepest mysteries of existence, then subscribe for more mind-blowing facts every week, and check the links in the description below. Because the universe is 13.8 billion years old, unimaginably vast, and still full of secrets. And we are just getting started.